Understanding women's minds is an interesting adventure that makes many people want to learn more about their thoughts and actions. Women's words and actions serve as important clues, so men need to be careful and perceptive whether they're in understanding women's psychology through everyday conversations or subtle body language. Not only helps you understand them better, but it also helps you make smart decisions in relationships. But not all signals are positive. Some words and actions from women can have big effects on love and life if you ignore them. Today, let's look at 10 things that a woman may say that may make you rethink the relationship and ask yourself if she really values you in it. This isn't just about being self-aware, it's also about making smart decisions about your future. The key is to understand and objectively evaluate the complicated nature of relationships while developing good values within yourself. Make relationships that matter and last. Before we start, I want you to show your support by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Listen all the way to the end because each point is important and may help you understand things in a new way. Allow us to begin. Number 1. It's always about her. Men often fight with the idea that they shouldn't show too much emotion or talk too much about their daily lives. This can make them feel lonely, especially when they try to open up to their partners and are ignored or brushed off. It's hard to share personal information because it's like telling someone I trust them with my thoughts and feelings. But when that trust is broken or shifted to something unimportant, it hurts. When you get a big promotion at work, you're thrilled and want to tell your partner about it. But she's more interested in talking about the newest gadgets or fashion trends, which is like telling you that your big moment doesn't matter. Let's talk about something I find important instead. This kind of imbalance can really mess up a relationship. It's like one person's accomplishments and feelings aren't important to the other. Epicus said that because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, we can listen twice as much as we speak. This is a fancy way of saying that it's really important to care about each other's problems and listen to them. It's about celebrating each other's successes and being there for each other through good times and bad. It's important to know when your partner is being selfish or not giving you enough mental support. It's about putting yourself and your emotional health first. Sometimes that means having a serious conversation to work things out, and other times it might mean making hard choices about the relationship. Either way, it's about finding happiness and fulfillment in a relationship based on mutual care and respect. I'm busy right now. We all know how hard work can be. As a man, you have a 9-to-5 job like everyone else. Even though you're busy, you still see your family first. This shows that your family is very important to you and that you make time to spend with them, even when you have important things to do. Maintaining this balance between work and family duties is admirable and says a lot about how much you care about your family and how well you can set goals. Seneca, an ancient Stoic philosopher, said that we are more often scared than hurt, and that we suffer more from our thoughts than from reality. This quote shows how important it is to keep things in perspective and be strong when meeting life's challenges. It tells us to think logically about situations and realize that our worries and views of problems often make them worse than they really are. But if your partner is consistently unavailable or missing in action, it makes you worry. When you shout at her, she says she's too busy or focused on work to talk. It's important to understand that when someone values a relationship, they make time for their partner first, no matter what else they have to do. Open communication and mutual respect are important parts of any healthy relationship, and it's important to talk about any problems or issues with understanding and empathy. Basically, finding a balance between work and personal life is important, but real interest and effort in relationships should never be ignored or compromised. Building strong relationships takes consistent work, communication, and a desire to put each other's happiness and well-being first. Number 3. My ex used to do that. When you're in a relationship, it's usually not a good idea to think about past relationships. If your partner keeps talking about their ex, you should be worried. This behavior can show up in many situations, like when you're shopping with her and she says, "My ex had great taste in clothes. He would have loved this outfit." These comments, while seemingly harmless, can make you feel inadequate and unsafe in your current relationship. It's important to realize that she comparing you to her ex-partners all the time is not good for building a healthy and trusting relationship. Epicus says that we should focus on what we can control, which fits with the Stoic idea in this case. Use what you can to the fullest, and let the rest happen as it may. You can't help but think about ex-partners, and it's important to put your mental health first by talking to your partner about behaviors like constantly talking about ex-partners. May mean that your partner hasn't fully moved on or is using the current relationship as a distraction from unresolved feelings. This can make you a rebound partner instead of someone they choose because they really want to connect with you. It's important to be aware of these patterns and not let yourself be used as a temporary emotional crutch. If your partner talks about their ex a lot or just can't let go of the past, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship. Your mental health and happiness shouldn't be put at risk, and staying in a bad situation can cause you more pain than it's worth. It's important to have open and honest conversations about the relationship's rules and expectations, but if these talks don't lead to positive changes, you might want to think about moving on. Remember that putting your own needs first isn't selfish. It's an important part of keeping relationships healthy. Number 4. You're to blame. One important red flag that many men miss in relationships is when a woman refuses to apologize or take responsibility for her actions over and over again. This behavior isn't just an accident or a misunderstanding. It's part of a deeper pattern of behavior that can have a big effect on the relationship. For example, if you make a mistake, she expects you to admit it and ask for forgiveness, no matter how small the problem may be. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." This creates an unhealthy and unbalanced dynamic. Classical advice stresses how important it is to look inside yourself and take responsibility for your actions when dealing with life's problems, including those that happen in relationships. An open line of communication is key to a healthy friendship. Respect each other and take turns being responsible. Both partners must be willing to own up to their mistakes, sincerely apologize, and work together to find a solution and grow. If one partner ignores or downplays her own mistakes while emphasizing yours, she not only destroys trust and respect, but also starts a harmful cycle of blame and resentment. It's important to be aware of this warning sign and deal with it with clarity and maturity. It's important to remember that relationships are based on trust and mutual responsibility. Forgiveness and appreciation are also important, but they must be given and received by both partners. If she won't admit her mistakes or work toward better communication and conflict resolution, then neither partner will value or forgive her. It could mean deeper problems with maturity and emotional intelligence, so it's important to look at the relationship as a whole and see if it's healthy and compatible. As hard as it may be, ending a relationship with these kinds of imbalances can help you grow as a person and find more fulfilling connections. Finding a partner who values responsibility, empathy, and mutual respect should be your top priority. These are the traits that make a relationship last and mean something. Journey number 5. Pointing out flaws. Being able to talk to your partner openly and constructively is an important part of a healthy relationship. Your partner should not only listen to your thoughts and feelings, but also give you feedback that helps you grow as a person. Instead of always pointing out flaws or shortcomings, they should inspire and motivate you to become the best version of yourself. This builds trust and mutual respect, creating a supportive environment where both partners can thrive personally and as a couple. On the other hand, if your partner consistently lowers your self-esteem or makes fun of your goals, it's a clear sign that the relationship might be toxic. Being able to describe yourself honestly and feeling good in your own skin are basic rights in a healthy relationship. It might be time to reevaluate the dynamics of the relationship if these important parts are being harmed by negativity or constant criticism. Recognizing warning signs in a relationship is to have a good and fulfilling relationship. When you're with your partner, it should be a place where you can both feel supported and safe. It's more than just being friends. It means supporting your growth and making sure that, according to the wise words of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, building a strong foundation on love and positivity is not only good for the relationship, it's important for it to grow and change in a good way over time. This timeless quote says it all. Wherever there is a person, there is an opportunity for kindness. It's important to build relationships based on empathy, support, and kindness, and to choose to be around people who make you feel good and help you grow. In line with the Stoic concept of focusing on good deeds and meaningful connections, putting your emotional health and personal growth first will lead to a satisfying and enriching relationship. Sixth trip. Many women rely on their partners for emotional support, often using a phrase that's become all too common. However, it's important to be clear about your role in the relationship. You are her partner and equal, not her therapist or problem solver. Your main job isn't to diagnose or treat her mental health problems or solve all of her problems, even though it's natural to want to be there for her. It's important to know what your job is. If she seems stressed out or helpless, that doesn't mean you should step in and help her. As a savior, when you play this role, you may unintentionally make her more dependent on you, which could lead to an unhealthy situation where she relies too much on you for emotional stability. What she really needs is the help and advice of a professional psychiatrist or counselor who can provide individualized mental health support. This specialized help goes beyond what you as a partner can provide and makes sure she gets complete care for her health. Not recognizing and respecting these boundaries can cause resentment and strain in the relationship over time. Being the fixer all the time can be hard on your mental and emotional health, making you feel inadequate or frustrated. Epicurus, a famous Stoic philosopher, said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This quote reminds us of how important it is to be self-aware and set realistic goals. By knowing your limits and focusing on your own health, you can create a healthier dynamic in the relationship. This could even mean having open and honest conversations about getting professional help and supporting each other. Finding out that your partner has been cheating on you is without a doubt one of the most heartbreaking things that can happen in a relationship. It cuts to the core of trust, which is what keeps any meaningful connection between two people going. When this happens, it not only breaks the romantic bond, but also the mutual respect and understanding that should exist between partners, as the Stoic philosopher Seneca said. The saying goes, a lack of trust is the first step toward disintegration. After an affair, people often feel a wide range of emotions, from shock and disbelief to anger and sadness. It makes them question their beliefs about the relationship and the shared values and commitments that seemed unbreakable at first. The betrayed partner may struggle with feelings of inadequacy, wondering what they could have done differently to stop such a thing from happening. Although the cheating partner may try to lessen how bad their actions were by saying it was just a one-time thing, it is important to understand how serious the issue is. Once trust is broken, it's hard to get it back, and promises made over and over again may not ring true after a betrayal. Also, cheating spreads to other people. Beyond just being physically involved with someone, it shows a complete lack of respect for the emotional integrity of the relationship. It casts doubt and fear on the love and friendship that have been built up over time. It's not a sign of weakness to end a relationship that has been tainted by cheating. It's a brave step toward honesty, integrity, and the search for real connections based on mutual trust and respect. As hard as it may be to break up, staying in a relationship that has been tainted by cheating is only going to make things worse. Keeps the emotional turmoil going and keeps both people from finding true happiness and satisfaction. Eighth number, you're being too sensitive. Oh no. Although this comment seems harmless, it can mean a lot when aimed at your partner. In a relationship, it's not just about being sensitive. It's also about respect and empathy. It's disappointing when your partner finds fun in making fun of your mistakes or treating your deepest losses as unimportant. When you finally get the courage to talk about these hurtful actions instead of understanding or an apology, you're met with an insulting comment about how sensitive you are. People often say that you should be able to handle criticism or teasing with mental toughness. But there's a thin line between harmless banter and hurtful behavior, especially when it comes from your partner who should be there for you and understand. As the famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. It's a red flag when your partner not only doesn't recognize your valid feelings, but also uses them against you. This is also true in relationships. Insults that are meant to be funny or comparisons to other people's wins will only make you feel bad about your own worth. It's important to know when these kinds of relationships become harmful to your health. For personal growth and happiness, it's important to be around people who make you feel good and help you grow. You have the right to expect your partner to treat you with respect, understanding, and kindness, and it's important to set limits when those needs aren't met. Relationships should be a source of support and happiness, not a constant fight to show how strong you are against mean comments. Rule 9. Obey me in many relationships. Women often plan their male partner's social lives. They might ask if they can spend time with friends or make plans, which is fine, and shows that the couple is healthy if they support each other's social lives. But if this care turns into controlling behavior, it becomes a problem. Epicus, a Stoic philosopher, once said that freedom is the only worthwhile goal in life because it lets us ignore things that are out of our control. This quote stresses how important it is to keep your personal freedom and not give in to unwanted impact in relationships. It's a red flag if your partner starts to demand obedience or asks you to give up your hobbies and time with friends. It's okay for her to have preferences about your friends, but limiting your time with them is worrying. If she gives you ultimatums saying you have to choose between her and your friends, it's time to think about ending the relationship. Remember that your happiness and freedom are paramount, and giving them up for someone else's control is not healthy. Epictetus taught us to put our own freedom and health above all else. Good communication is key for dealing with problems like these in relationships. Talking about needs, limits, and standards in an open and honest way can help people understand and respect each other in healthy relationships. Find a mix between their own interests and activities they do with others. It's important to spot warning signs like ultimatums that force a choice between a partner and social circles so that both partners can keep in touch with friends and follow personal interests without feeling stifled or controlled. Epictetus's wise words tell us that giving up our own happiness and freedom for the sake of keeping things the same in a relationship is not a good idea. In relationships, true happiness comes from mutual support, respect for individual autonomy, and the freedom to pursue personal interests and connections outside of the relationship. Ultimately, if a relationship becomes suffocating or stops personal growth and fulfillment, it may be time to reevaluate priorities and make decisions that put overall well-being first. Epictetus's teachings still speak to people today, urging them to seek the balance between personal freedom and meaningful connections in relationships. Number 10. Accusations of cheating can really mess up a relationship, causing a lot of mistrust and bad feelings if not handled carefully. It's very important to be understanding and kind in these situations while also standing up for yourself and what you know is right in a good relationship. Being trusted is what makes everyone feel safe and important. But when trust is weak because of doubts and suspicions, it can make everything feel unstable. If someone accuses you of cheating without any real proof, it's important to try to figure out why they feel that way. Sometimes past experiences, insecurities, or just not talking openly can make someone feel really jealous and suspicious. It's important to talk about these feelings honestly and without blaming each other, so you can understand where the other person is coming from and work through it together. As the old saying goes, trust yourself and others will trust you too. That means sticking to your values and beliefs even when things get tough. But it's also important to set boundaries and deal with any behaviors like invading in your privacy or constantly accusing you without reason. If you notice signs of mistrust early on, like your partner going through your stuff or always asking where you've been, it's important to address it calmly and respectfully. Good communication, respect for each other, and facing problems together can help rebuild trust and make your relationship stronger. But if the accusations keep coming, despite your efforts to talk things out, it might be time to get outside help or rethink the relationship altogether. In the end, baseless accusations of cheating can really hurt a relationship and both people involved. By building trust, talking openly, and couples who respect each other can get through hard times and come out stronger. As the saying goes, trusting yourself is key to earning trust from others, which shows how important it is to stay true to yourself even when things are hard. To wrap up today's discussion, let's go over the most. Putting up with bad behavior can hurt the relationship's health and happiness. It's important to deal with problems like manipulation, disrespect, or lack of understanding right away. And if you need to, get professional help. Set healthy limits. Self-respect and a dedication to emotional health are essential for building a long-lasting and satisfying relationship. To have a happy and fulfilling relationship with a woman, you need to take a multifaceted approach that puts respect, communication, shared values, trust, personal growth, and mental well-being at the top of the list. You can do this by carefully nurturing these areas with care and dedication. Partners can build a strong and long-lasting relationship on love, trust, understanding, and a common goal for the future. Building and maintaining a healthy relationship is an ongoing process that requires partners to understand and be flexible as they navigate life's challenges together, getting closer and stronger with each shared experience. Thank you for joining me on this journey to learn more about women's thoughts and actions. Thank you for coming to this discussion about a subject that is both interesting and necessary for improving our family ties. I hope that the information and ideas we talked about today have made you think and given you useful insights that can improve how you interact with the women in your life. If you related to the ideas we talked about and found them helpful, please share your thoughts and experiences in the section below this video's comments. Your feedback not only helps build a sense of community, but it also helps us make future content that speaks to you. Linked in the end screen, these resources give you more in-depth and nuanced talks on related topics, giving you a full picture of all the different aspects of relationships and how people interact with each other. Thanks for taking the time to read this and give it your full attention. I'm looking forward to continuing our journey together, filled with insightful conversations and personal growth. Until we meet again, take care to keep an open mind when entering relationships and care for them with compassion and understanding. Here's to deeper bonds and ongoing exploration.